What if I told you that loneliness is more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day? That sounds extreme, but it's backed by real science. And today, we're going to explore what loneliness actually does to your brain. Let's start with a surprising fact. In 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General declared loneliness and social isolation a public health epidemic. Not just a sad feeling, an actual epidemic. And the numbers are staggering. Roughly 1 in 2 adults in America reports experiencing measurable levels of loneliness. This isn't just an American problem either. It's happening globally. So what happens inside your brain when you're lonely? Here's where it gets fascinating. Your brain treats loneliness the same way it treats physical pain. Neuroscientists have found that social rejection activates the same brain regions as a physical injury, specifically the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex and the anterior insula. In other words, when someone ghosts you or you feel left out, your brain is processing it as if you've been physically hurt. But it gets deeper. When you're chronically lonely, your brain shifts into a state of hypervigilance. It starts scanning for social threats everywhere. You become more likely to interpret neutral faces as hostile, and you withdraw even further. Psychologists call this the loneliness loop. The lonelier you feel, the harder it becomes to connect, which makes you even lonelier. Now let's talk about what this does to your body. Research shows that social isolation increases your risk of premature death by 26%. It's associated with a 50% increased risk of dementia, a 29% higher risk of heart disease, and a 32% increased risk of stroke. 81% of adults who report being lonely also experience anxiety or depression, compared to just 29% of those who aren't lonely. Here's something else researchers have discovered. Passive social media use, just scrolling without interacting, actually makes loneliness worse over time. A 9-year longitudinal study confirmed that the more passively you consume social media, the lonelier you become. But there's a fascinating counter-trend emerging. It's called friction maxing, where people deliberately seek out real-world experiences that require showing up in person, choosing the harder path of genuine human connection over the ease of digital interaction. So what can you actually do about loneliness? The research is encouraging. A massive review of 280 studies found that loneliness interventions genuinely work. The most effective approach? Psychological interventions, especially group-based ones. Things like group therapy, community volunteering, shared hobby groups, and even structured social skills training. The key insight is that beating loneliness isn't about having more people around you. It's about having meaningful connections. Here's your takeaway for today. If you've been feeling disconnected lately, know that your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do, signaling that you need connection. But don't fall into the loneliness loop. Take one small step. Call a friend. Join a local group. Have a real conversation with someone. Your brain and your body will thank you for it. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more daily psychology insights.